Today is a very happy day for me. In fact, one of the happiest days and recording sessions I've ever had in World of Tanks Blitz, and that's because the WZ-111-5A is my favorite tier 10 in the game. I have over 1,000 battles officially in the vehicle, actually 1,111 to be exact, kind of the perfect number to stop on right now. But the problem with me, and why I haven't been playing the 5A nearly as much in the past months, is just after the IS-7 got its buff, and the Type 71 has come out, and so many other strong tier 10s like the 60 TP, why should I play the 5A when I can play other ones, do better, and also have similarities on mobility, hull down capabilities? Yeah, I mean, I love the 5A. It's still a decent tank. It's just definitely fallen behind compared to the other top competitors in the tier that it's at. However, next update, that is not going to be the case. First of all, the 5A is getting a DPM buff. Currently, you'd sit at around 2,600 DPM with Rammer. Next update, you're going to have 2,826, making this the highest 460 damage per minute heavy tank in the game. That's going to be great. Having only around a 10-second reload to deal, 460 alpha? Oh man, that's the same reload as a Kron's single shot. And yeah, when you get that extra alpha, people are going to bleed a lot of hit points. Not to mention, the 5A is also getting a massive dispersion buff. It's currently sitting at 0.352 in update 9.0, which we're all playing in. In 9.1, it's going to be sitting at 0.326. 0.326 is the same dispersion that the STB1 is going to be sitting at next update. A heavy is going to have the same dispersion as a medium. Like, that's really, really accurate. And judging that this is a 460 alpha, and you're going to have DPM and accuracy, oh boy, yeah, the 5A is going to be one strong vehicle if it gets into an aggressive position on the battlefield. It'll be great at hitting long-distance shots due to its alpha. It won't be great at penetrating its shots, so that is the real problem that Wargaming needs to fix about this vehicle. Its standard pen is really nice. It's got AP, 260 pen, that's plenty. The problem is your premium. It's 303 millimeters with heat. Oh boy, if you're running Cali, it's got 330, but I'm actually going to try out Rammer on this vehicle because next update, Wargaming's buffing the E100 turret cheeks, and Wargaming's buffing the Jagdpanzer turret cheeks, and you're actually not going to be able to pen them with a vehicle like the 5A, even if you're running Cali. Why does a heavy have the same pen as a medium? So what I've been trying to argue for years is the 5A gets a heat pen buff, especially judging that if we make our way to the tech tree, the WZ-111-5A, which as you'll notice looks literally identical to the 5A. In fact, on PC, this is the previous tank to get to the tier 10. This vehicle has 352 heat pen if you're running Cali, which is 20 more. I don't know why the 5A doesn't get more pen, really makes no sense to me, but it definitely deserves it. Either way, enough about the 5A's buff. How about we get into some gameplay and see how the vehicle can perform in the current update. Now, as I said, I don't think the 5A is a bad vehicle by any means. It knows what to do as long as you put it in the right situation. It's got a nice gun. With the alpha plus the mobility, it can do a lot of things really well. And one thing I should add, because a lot of people will heart me in the comments if I don't, this vehicle is also receiving a 5 km/h nerf. I wish it was buff, but it's losing 5 km/h. But this is basically the same as all the other similar heavies. So the WZ-113 is going from 50 to 45, and the IS-7 is going from 50 to 45. The only difference is that the IS-7 is actually getting worse overall. Not only is it losing a bit of top speed, but the IS-7 is also having a bit worse dispersion, and its power to weight is also becoming worse. So in all regards, the IS-7 is going to become a little bit slower, where the 5A is just getting a flat buff, which is actually going to differentiate it from the IS-7 and, in my eyes, make it a lot more enjoyable. So off to the side, we got an E50M. Let's aim in on his vehicle. I do want to point out that even though the dispersion is getting better on the 5A, it is not going to change its aiming time, which is actually good. That means that you're going to aim in a lot faster because your aiming circle has to get a lot smaller. So to get to the current dispersion of 0.352 we are all playing at right now, it's actually going to aim in quite a bit faster to get to the smaller dispersion. That's honestly amazing, and it's going to make the 5A really solid in that aspect too. So we got a Jagdpanzer off to the side. Unfortunately, I can't really do much to that. Sheridan gets a nice tap in, and I also get a nice tap into the 60 TP. that player really overextended his tank and put himself in a very easy killing situation. Alright, well here we are. We've got the 60 TP, and we definitely would have been able to slap him way quicker if we were running Gun Rammer with the next update as well. I'm actually running Cali right now, so yeah, I mean, we would have had over a second and a half reload increase. That would be great. There you go, another nice shot right into the 60 TP, although, ooh, big ol' slap into my rear of the turret by the VK-72. Thankfully, that didn't damage my ammo rack or any module. Usually when you shoot the rear of a tank's turret, yeah, it can be very, very deadly. But we're doing pretty good. We've already dealt 2,300 damage so far, and we're going to start making our way off to the side of this VK-72 to where I can work all down and get some more shells into his tank. So the VK is trying to leave his position that he's put himself into. The enemy team still has a Yag, a Bashation. They got a fair amount of deadly vehicles, but because the VK pokes, we get a nice shell into his tank. Now, I do have the bat chat, and I thought this guy was going to try and come off to my side, but I don't really know what he was doing, to be fair. He just... Yeah, we're just not even going to worry about the bat chat at this moment. We're going to continue dealing with the VK. Finish him off with a nice shot there. He high-rolled me, but I mean, I high-rolled him back, so can't really complain. There goes the Sheridan finishing off the enemy Bashation. That Sheridan was actually a pretty solid teammate, to be completely honest. And all that's left is the E50M, which we're able to get a pretty nice tap into in the side for 490. This wasn't the craziest of games by any remote reason of 3,678 damage, but I can definitely say if we had more damage per minute in this battle, we could have made a huge difference. I was able to deal 3,600 DPM, or not DPM, but damage, with having 2,400 DPM, so I would have an extra 400 damage per minute, yeah. So it would be a pretty big difference. 11.41 seconds down to 9.7 is what I just showed you in update 9.1. And as you can see, the dispersion's 0.353. That's going to go all the way down to 0.326. I am extremely excited for the 5A, especially because like the HE of 600 Alpha, if you got the rear of a tank or, you know, a squishy punching bag and you're able to get a bunch of HE shells in with your adrenaline on, man, this is just going to be an absolute killing machine. So, do I think the 5A is going to be the best tier 10 out there? No. I still think that its biggest issue is still its biggest issue. It needs more penetration on the premium. Without that premium pen, when you go up against vehicles like the Mouse or other tier 10 heavies that have a lot of armor, even with gold, you're going to struggle. So, that's the real problem with the 5A, but maybe with these buffs, it'll make it a niche vehicle that if you have enough skill, you can do very well in it. So, we'll have to see when it does get buffed. Either way, it's a big buff for the tank, and that's going to make it much more enjoyable for me. You know I'm going to be spamming this vehicle out there in the front line. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!